Yo, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you guys are in the world, from Alaska to New York to Florida and beyond. Hope you guys had a wonderful New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2025. Hope you guys are having a great start to the year. I know I am. Elena, thank you for being my guest today. You are absolutely amazing. You look lovely as ever. How has your New Year's gone so far?
Yep. Thank you so much, JC. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to be your guest. I always love to be a guest. And I love every hour conversation because I'm your student and you're my favorite mentor, you know it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel the exact same way.
Thank
Today
you.
is January. Oh my gosh. I actually thought today was the 3rd. Today's only the 2nd. So
Yep.
how's the last couple of days for you gone so far?
Busy.
Yeah.
So busy. What about yours? How were your days?
Pretty much the same. Super busy, but in a really, really good way. One of the things that I last year for me was a big year of growth in a lot of different ways. I gained perspective like I've never gained perspective before. I invested in myself. I hired 8-9-figure coaches and mentors. Man, I've learned so much, and I hope all of that has kind of come through. Everything that I learned, obviously, I try to bring right back to Elena, you are, and the rest of our cohort. I really try to narrow the gap between where everybody is and where I am as fast as possible. And one of those things that I have learned is, well, there's a couple things that I'm working on this year. So one, I look at everything that I'm doing or that I did last year, and going into this year, I need to be doing about half of what I did. So I need to be able to 10x my business while doing about half. So that's one thing. And then also at the same time, and I mean like half is working as much. So that means I need to get a little bit more strategic with the way that I'm doing things, the way that I'm thinking, the vision, how I want to bring people in, how I want to build and connect relationships, bigger relationships, get into bigger rooms, all that kind of fun stuff. And as I'm getting into this year, I mean, this year for me, 2025 will literally be like 100x. And it's not one of those I'm shooting for it. I hope it. Like I've sat down, I've quite literally done the math and have a plan on exactly how I'm going to do it. So in order for me to do that, I had to let go of about 80 to 90% of the things and people that I associated with last year. So in order for me to go that big, I can't do or associate with the same people that I did last year. I can't be doing the same things. I have to do things completely different. So I'm really excited. The last week or so since Christmas has been really busy for me. It's kind of one of those, I mean, so busy that I haven't even really posted much on social media. So it's just kind of been one of those head down, put the blinders on type of deals. And I'm tickled pink for it, Elena. This is going to be so awesome. I'm really excited for this year. I've never done anything this big before. I actually had one of the event coordinators who's putting on another event, I believe in Orlando, in front of 2,000 people. Shoot me a message right before we jumped on here, and he's like, "Hey Jesse, I'm wanting to have a conversation with all of the speakers. Let me know if you got some time today." So, keynote speaker in front of 2,000 people. I mean, I got so many big things coming up, and I'm really excited to be able to not only share that with our clients, but find people like you that are just going above and beyond and see where can I bring Elena on this journey with me that's going to help 10x where she's going. So I'm really excited for it. It has been super busy. So I see we got Sean Clark is in here. Sean Clark's in the house. Sean Clark. What's going on, baby boy? How are you? Shernice, welcome, guys. Alan, happy New Year's, my friend. Ron, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had a wonderful and amazing year. Today, my day started out at 1:30 a.m. today. I hit the gym at 2:30, and it has just been go. Well, I'm super excited. See, we got Dawn in the house. I'm on the same page, Jesse. I've been doing some serious network purging and deleting groups that are not serving me well and realigning myself with the groups I want to be more involved in. Dawn, I love that. I don't know if you caught this. I did a goal setting Zoom on Monday. I don't know if you were in on that or not, but it was exactly that. Before we started setting goals and showing everybody how to break down goals and set goals and all that kind of stuff, we had to start with doing an end of year review. And something I tell my clients a lot, and Elena can vouch for this, is there's something called the 95-5 rule. So basically it says that 95% of your results come from only about 5% of what you do. So when you think about that, how much time are people spending on things? They think that they're being productive when in reality they're only being busy. And so if you do the math on that, I mean, I'm not a math magician here, but I think that equivalates for about every 20 hours of work that you think you're doing, being productive, getting on Zooms, phone calls, DMs, things like that. The result that you finally get was actually, if you go back and trace it statistically, from about 1 hour of work. So about every 20 hours you put in, the result you got is usually from only about 1 hour of work. So I love that, Don. I love that that's what you're doing. So kind of the same thing when you want to go and build a year that is a 10x year, that is a 100x year. I think there's a lot of people think that it has to be kind of this gradual thing where it's like, hey, if I'm climbing a staircase this year, I'm going to take a couple more steps up that staircase. And it's really kind of a linear way of thinking. Like if you're going to 2x what you did last year, it's really kind of a linear way of thinking. And so if you really want to make just these huge and major leaps and bounds, you've got to erase 90% of the things that you're doing if you want a completely different result. But you need to be able to identify what was the 5% of things that worked. How do I take those things and apply them to what I'm doing in the coming year? So that's what we did. So we start with an end of year review. Take the time, figure out what worked, what didn't work, what did you learn, what were the aha moments, and then, like you said as well, what were some of the groups and Zooms that really helped me gain either new knowledge, new insight, tactics, strategies, and then what were the ones that weren't? And then you just stick with those. You make that the primary thing. You got to cut everything, almost anything and everything out, man. So love that. I see we got Nancy in here. Don says, hence why I'm here. But no, I was not here, but plan to be a lot more going. Dude, I appreciate that, dude. Let me know where I can help you. Nancy says, re-examining what niche I want to be in and focus on that. Ron says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, my brother. Elena, can I share something with you? I have failed. I have failed. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know. We haven't known each other quite a year yet. But every year, true story, swear on my kid's life, this is true story. Every year since I was in the second grade, I was in Jody Brown's class. She was my teacher in second grade. Every year since the second grade, Elena, it's been my New Year's resolution to stop cussing. The longest time I ever made it was in 2012. I made it 3 full days without a cuss word coming out of my mouth, guys. It was glorious. It was amazing. And then I was playing Call of Duty Zombies, and some mofo, pissed me off and did something, and then boom, an F-bomb slips out, and I'm like, ah! Well, there's always next year, I guess. So it's all, I know it's kind of one of those things where I had a lot of people, I shared the story the last couple of years, and there's a lot of people that are like, well, Jess, you can just start it now. Like, it doesn't have, and it's like, no. This has been the ongoing goal since I was in second grade. Like, it doesn't work like that. It has to start at New Year. And Elena, this year, probably the first 10 words that came out of my mouth when I got up on New Year's Day, there was an F-bomb that slipped out. I was like, damn it. Damn it. You ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore? You ever seen that movie with Adam Sandler?
Yep.
Yeah, he's getting they're playing hockey at the beginning. He gets cut from the hockey team. So he goes to the batting cages and he starts getting like baseballs thrown at him. And he's just sitting there like getting hit. You guys remember that? And then Chubbs comes up to him and he's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I got 364 more days till next year's tryouts. I got to toughen up. That's kind of how I felt like when I broke my New Year's resolution this year. It's like, all right, I dropped an F-bomb. I got 364 more days to get it all out so I can I can do good. I can do good next year. Anyway, enough about me. Elena, what were some of the things that you have in place? What are some things that you're wanting to accomplish this year? This year.
This year,
This year.
25th.
What are some big things you're wanting to
Okay.
accomplish? You don't got to do like all your goals, but are there any particular highlights or anything that you have written down that you're like, man, if I could accomplish like one or two of these things, this would be a super dope year?
Okay. Now my number one goal this year is to develop my brand.
Ooh, develop your brand.
And
Okay.
yeah, my brand is Cozy Nest. So I'm going to develop this brand to make it bright, to make it visible.
Mm-hmm.
Another my goal is to start implementing BRRRR method for pot splits and to sell my own franchise under my brand. So not just to buy creative deals, but to make shift more towards BRRRR method and my brand.
Love that. Love that, Elena. That's amazing. So for everybody who doesn't know you, take a couple minutes and just kind of just introduce yourself. Like, who is Elena? For anybody who doesn't know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Elena is one who did not know what is equity back in maybe April last year. I
So
had no
less than
idea
a year
what is
ago, so like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it was very difficult for me and I'm still learning. I have IT background. So I joined it Sub2 community back in March last year. And then I found you, JC, and your cohort, your team. I joined your mentorship. And so in July, I started building my team to buy creative deals.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought our first creative deal months and a half ago. It was Sub2 deal in Dallas. Yeah, so this quite a fast journey.
I think
cannot
quite
believe we've done
fast.
it.
I mean, Elena, there's so many things that you're leaving out here. Now, I know your personal story, and I think it's really, really cool. So Kevin Schuweiler, he and I have been on some Zooms, and he and I were actually talking about you a couple times over the last week. And it is the coolest thing to see, because like what you've accomplished in basically 6 months. I mean, we were in Vegas together 6 months ago. And what you've accomplished and the person that you are over 6 months, like that's where you are now is where it took me like 2 or 3 years to get to that point.
Oh, no, I cannot believe. You just didn't have these goals. You started wholesaling, right? You didn't have a goal to buy. This is why.
Right. I mean, well, I got into real estate because I wanted to own properties, but I as soon as I started taking the leap in, I look around at what everybody else around me is doing, and everybody's like, you got to start out wholesaling. You got to start out wholesaling. You got to build out a wholesaling company. That way you've got some active income coming in, and then you can either start taking that money and you can start buying real estate with it, or you can start cherry picking your own deals, or like that was the thing. That was the stigma. Yeah. And so I fell into that for like 3 years. And it was really interesting, Elena, and I'd love to ask you this. You start getting into real estate, and I remember you reached out to me 2 weeks into real estate. 2 weeks in, you reach out to me and you're like, Jesse, this is not what I want to do. I need to be in your program. And what did I tell you?
You told me it probably will be not too beneficial for you, but because you know nothing, you're a newbie. I told you I don't care. I want to buy and hold, and I want to be in your program. So I was stubborn with my mission.
I'm so grateful that you are, because to see where you are in 6 months. In 6 months, Elena, you have built a team. You've stepped into. You're a leader. You're not a boss. You're not a manager. You're not just a CEO. You're a leader. And leaders build other leaders. That's a big deal. I mean, just because the word leadership alone, most people don't understand really what that entails. And so they always find themselves in the position of, just because they have CEO as a title, they're still acting and doing things as if they're a boss or a manager. but you're a leader and you're building other leaders. In 6 months, I mean, you have stepped into the role of being a leader. You've started building a team. You've started a podcast. You've had some really awesome big names on your podcast. You purchased your first property. You've got deals in the pipeline now. You've got relationships in the pipeline. I mean, my goodness. Elaine, I'm not just saying this because you're on here or we're in front of anybody else. I have literally never seen anybody go from zero to making the leaps and bounds in progress that you have, let alone in 6 months. What are some, like, for everybody who's trying to figure this out, what are some of the things that you went through? I mean, you had the tenacity. I mean, like you said, guys, she reached out to me and was like, Jesse, I need this. And I said, Elena, you're brand new. I appreciate that you reached out to me, but I don't think that this is for you yet. And the only reason I said that is because a lot of times there's just a struggle that most people need to go through of being an entrepreneur to really kind of start getting clarity around what it is that they want and then how they're going to do it. And you already had that up here, which I think is probably one of the most important traits for any entrepreneur. So you jumping in, like you said, not having even known what it means to open up escrow, to in less than a year, like you've got a laundry list of things that you're already doing and things that's setting you up for 2025. I mean, shit. My first year of real estate, I was just trying to figure out, how do I make phone calls and what do I say? And do I really want to get yelled at again? And here you are over here just acting like a freaking G, man. Explain that. Share. I love your story. Share with everybody, what are some of the mindset obstacles that you want to, was there ever a time when you were like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should do it. I don't know if I'm doing the right time. Or for the most part, I mean, did you really just kind of jump into it and you're like, I literally don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it. And I'll just figure it out and I'll ask questions. I know that Jesse and the rest of the team is here to support me. Like, walk me kind of through that, because I want everybody else to kind of understand, like, where were you right here that got you to where you are right now? Where were you 8 months ago?
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much like you just described. I knew what I want and I just started doing steps. And I just like to remember what I was doing back in July. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So my first goal was to start building relationship with private lenders, because I realized anyway to start buying, I need money comes first. It's default. So
Yep.
I remember when I started reaching out to lenders, I was doing between 8 and 10 Zooms every day without even understanding I need lenders second lien position. In a couple of months, when I realized it, it puts me into depression for a couple of days, because I got feeling those 2 months were useless for me. After 2 days, I said, okay, 2 liens, second lien. Okay, second lien. After I decided to meet second lien lenders, magically, there I started coming on my way. After another month or so, with same schedule, crazy schedule, just doing the same, lenders, Zooms, making my spreadsheet. I don't have any CRM, just be like a monkey, do this job like a monkey. Every day, Zooms with lenders. Follow up. Every Monday, I was doing follow up with people who I met last week. Every Monday, every time I get their phone number, I started sending them text, building like just human relationship. Oh my gosh. After months or so, I decided I want to meet more PMPs. And right after I decided, they started coming my way. It's magic. It's not because of me. It's because it's life. It's God. He works this way. It's life works this way. Because our mindset, this is a tool for us to create our reality. I know for 1,000,000%. It's not because you, Jesse, taught us about this schema, because it's, for me, it's clear. Really clear. Just you need to know what do you want. If you don't know what do you want, start doing at least something. If you decided to be in real estate, Pick any strategy is around you and do couple steps. And then decide if it works for you, keep doing. If it's not working for you, be flexible, find another way. So really mindset. So what I got from this last year, you never will be prepared. Never, ever. Does not exist any circumstances you will be enough informed, in better environment, you will have enough knowledge, you will have enough whatever. You never will. You never will. Just do it. Just do it. So many people around me, even my friends, who still, they are happy to discuss with you what they want to do. They are so happy to discuss with you what they want to achieve. Don't waste this time to discuss. Waste this time to act. So it's nothing special, just action. I will not say anything new. Consistency and action. Really. You will make mistakes, you will fail, you will be silly, you will feel people who does not like you. Who cares? Do your stuff. And that's it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude.
You're such a badass. No, do it, man. Do it. This is awesome. Your vibe attracts your tribe. That's why we're all here, so everybody can hear this. I think everybody appreciates it.
Oh my gosh.
What is? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lucy. Go ahead. Just my emotions. Yeah.
This is so good. This is so good, Elena. What was the biggest challenge you were facing in your business before you joined the Growth Co?
Before, I did not have clear vision. I didn't have well organized shelves what to do. So, and JC, for those who never came through JC's mentorship, JC does not teach underwriting. He does not teach us what to do in our business, how to find deals. He teaches really mindset. So even if I did not get all this knowledge from your mentorship, I got much more.
You got what?
I got much more. What I can do to find information I need to find.
So you learned how to become resourceful.
Yeah.
How big of a skill do you think that is, becoming resourceful? Because I see so many people where they come across a certain situation and they don't know how to be resourceful if they're in a program or, whatever. And they're like, well, shoot, I wasn't taught exactly what to do if this type of situation happens. So because I wasn't taught what to do, then I'm just going to miss out. And that's something that I really try to hammer down on, is getting people to understand what it means to be resourceful. Because when you can understand what that truly means, that's when you make money. It doesn't take money to make money. It takes money it takes resources to make money. And so there's both this strategy and this tactic that has to happen when it comes to growing and scaling a business. It's not simply just either knowing how to underwrite or simply knowing how to overcome an objection on a sales phone call. There's so much more that goes into this especially if you're wanting to scale drastically. Elena, how many people would you say are shooting too low? Like their thinking is just too low?
Most of us, because this is how we start. Most people, yeah.
And why is that an issue? And how has your thinking changed?
The issue comes from our families. It comes from our past, because nobody told us everything starts here. Right? We were taught at the schools, the university, whatever, but not the most important thing in this universe. The most important thing is we create everything. Not Uncle Sam, not Mr. Biden, not Mr. Trump. We create everything. It starts from here. Maybe it's very banal, maybe it's very primitive, but this is the truth. This is the truth. All limitations are coming from here.
And you know what's really interesting? It goes, and I really love the way that you phrase this because it quite literally is magical. Like when you stop
Mhm,
having your hands in 20 different things, I think that's the thing that a lot of us get caught up in is we're like, hey,
mhm.
I'm going to start out this wholesaling thing. A month later, not really gaining much traction with it. You know what? I'm going to keep doing this, but on the side, I think somebody over here is looking for a mobile home park. Let me see if I can go help them with this. Oh, wait. Somebody just has this apartment complex. Man, if I can help this person go find a buyer, I could probably make a quick 6 figures. Let me do that too. Oh my gosh, people are buying businesses now. Cody Sanchez just came out with a book. Let me get into that as well. And we get this just shiny object syndrome thing going on that just gets everybody nowhere quick. What was the biggest breakthrough for you that you had as you were going through the Growth Co?
Jesse, could you please repeat what is the biggest what? I didn't get
Yeah,
word.
breakthrough. What was the biggest breakthrough that you had? Was it a certain strategy?
Oh,
Was it a perspective change on something? I mean, I know we cover a lot inside the Growth Co,
yeah.
but like for you, what was kind of that big moment that kind of bridged the gap from where you were to allowing you to see like I for everybody who knows and who has followed me, I talk about how important it is. We all kind of grew up kind of like how Elena was saying, because we grew up in a certain way with our families, we see the world. We have a worldview from a very specific lens. And we see money a certain way, we see risk a certain way, we see failure a certain way, we see relationships a certain way. We see the way that we contribute to the world a certain way. And you, for most of us, it's through the lens of a 40-hour work week, working for 50 years, and that's the way that we understand the world. And so, Elena, kind of what was that breakthrough for you for like eliminating that perspective on things, like putting those $5,000 a month classes off and being like, oh, wow, holy shit. I see things now that I've never seen before. And the crazy thing is, these opportunities are literally right in front of everybody. And everybody's just walking right by them because, metaphorically speaking, they've got the wrong worldview filter on their glasses. What was that? What was that big
Yeah.
thing for you? What was the big aha moment?
Okay. So first and most, I'm originally not American, right? And I have basically different mentality. So a very American mentality is to help each other and to be, to be helpful,
Mm,
to be resourceful. This is a part of American culture. This is
mm.
not part of my culture. We have another good stuff,
Oh,
Ukrainians,
wow.
but this is not our good. I mean, it's not our strength. Plus, I'm back from USSR. Don't forget, it's totally different mentality even compared to Ukrainian. So during our course with you, JC, I guess the most that opened my eyes and changed everything for me, it was when you taught us. So the many people you help, the many people you support, it gives your it supports your business. It's
Mm,
you should really switch upside down your mindset from yourself to other people
mm.
and to do to
Yes.
people whatever they need without expect anything back. And you really need to do it honestly and sincere, not because you heard it from JT, but when you start doing it as for yourself, when you start helping people as for yourself, you will start to appreciate every moment you're able to help whoever. Not because you expect Lord will pay you back or destiny or business will pay you back, but you do it because you want it. And you realize importance and you realize we all united in this universe. It's a huge shift. It's huge shift. Honestly, I appreciate every moment I can help people. And if someone asks me to help, I just grab this moment and I appreciate it so much. I can give at least something, small help, small advice, small information. My gosh, because I realize it's crazy important for me, for everyone, for all of us all together. It's a big shift.
Wow.
Wow.
I have known that to become a very universal truth.
universal
More
truth.
people that
Yeah.
you can help get what they want, the faster you get what you want. And there's very few people that are doing that transparently, ethically, and coming from a good place. You got so many people. If so many people would like just take their eyes off of their own business and stop being so focused on me, my business, my business, my business. I can't help you. I can't get on a call. I can't do this. I can't do that because I'm too busy working on my own shit. Then you're doing it wrong. And I think that's such a great thing to highlight, Elena, because it's true. The reason why any of us are not billionaires right now is because we are not the kind of person that can bring that caliber of skill to the marketplace. We're not resourceful enough to have those types of relationships or know where to find those types of relationships and be able to solve those kinds of problems for those caliber of individuals. And so it really comes down to understanding who you are. What are you good at? Take one thing that you're good at. Everybody has this God-given gift. Everybody has one thing that they are just so naturally good at, above and beyond anybody else or anything else that they do. There's always just this one thing that people do, and I like to call that place their zone of genius. And when you understand what your zone of genius is, it's your job to double down on what that is. Start building and developing that skill, because the way that you go monetize that skill, the way that you go make money now is not by taking this skill and then growing your own business with it and shunning everybody else. It's, hey, let me now take this skill that I'm building and developing and let me go serve as many people as I can with it. And that is how you make money. And I love that was a huge shift for you, Elena, because now that's all I see you doing, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, now you're thriving. Look at what you're doing. Look at the guests that you've had on your podcast. Look at what you've done in 6 months. My freaking goodness. Pansy says, yes,
Thank you,
I
Jesse.
agree.
Thank you, Jesse. It's really, I told you many times, you cannot achieve anything alone. You need really to have good community. You need to have good support. You need to have people who you can rely on. You need to have your accountability group. You need to have people in your community who you can call and cry, who you can call and pray. Oh my gosh, I have couple times I was praying with people. A couple times I was crying in front of people. One time, Chris James and Angel Miller, they called me after our Vegas, mastermind. And that time I was actually depressive because I understood I need totally different type of lenders. And after they called to me, I was crying just like a baby in front of them. But I know they are my friends. I can do it. I can afford myself to cry. So community, really, it's something banal. It's something everyone tells, but I just can confirm. Community, correct people, correct support, and you can do whatever. But anyway, if you will have the best community and if you will do nothing except talking, nothing will work.
How do you go about
Action.
finding the right community? If there's anybody that's watching this now or anybody that watches this in the future and they're like, well, Lena, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I hear how important community is. I hear how important accountability is. But where do I find these people? What do I do? What is your suggestion to them? How do I vet them? How do I make sure I'm around the right people?
Such a massive question. Okay, first of all, whatever you want to find and whoever you want to find, you should start with quantity. Quantity, amount of people you can meet, you can speak, and you have to meet a lot. And one day, quantity will transform into quality. So really, if you have clear vision, what do you need, who you need, what kind of people do you need, what do you want from them, put it on the paper. If you want community, okay, how big is this community? Should be this community. What should you be united around in this community? What is the main idea? What is the main focus? Put it on the paper and start interviewing people. And everything will happen.
I love that. I think whether you're looking for business partners, whether you are looking to bring somebody on in your team, whether you're looking for an accountability group, I think most people hire out of scarcity and convenience. It's convenient. Oh, I just talked to this person that knows so-and-so or can do so-and-so. They seem cool. Let me bring them into my business. Let me bring them into my accountability group. Let me partner with them. And then we wonder why things don't work. And I love what you said there, Elena, because it really, it's a universal truth. Whether it is, I mean, whether it's buying properties, whether it's raising capital, whether you're like you said, like you're building accountability groups, you're whatever it is, it's quality. But you have to go through quantity to find the quality. So a lot of people try to bypass the work. A lot of people try to take the shortcut. And guys, the shortcut, the universal truth, the shortcut is the long way. How many resumes did I have you sift through to find one operations manager?
Hundreds. I don't remember
right?
how many. We found our great Kurt from third attempt. First time, several hundred resumes. Second time, several hundred resumes. Third time, several hundred resumes.
And then you did what? Somewhere in the ballpark of about 30 interviews? Think about that, guys.
I guess less. Yeah, but a lot.
Between 20 and 30?
Yep.
Okay, so between 20 and 30 interviews. So you went through hundreds, 200, 300, 400 resumes, and then did 20 to 30 interviews to hire one person. This is what it takes.
Yep.
This is what it takes. Why do you think most people don't do that? Because I know there are people listening to this that are like, well, I speak English. I hear it. I hear what Jesse and Elena are talking about. And they still don't do it. They're still not going to prioritize it. What would you say to those individuals?
I believe people don't do it because they believe it's hard. It will take long time, which is not. So it's hard, but it will not take long time. Really, it will not take, because again, banal thing, life goes really fast. So 2-3 months of hiring process will pass very fast.
I 100% agree. I think a lot of people, their delayed gratification is such a real thing, and it's such a hard thing for most people. And as we've talked about in the cohort, you see a lot of people, social media is the devil, man. Social media sucks. Because the second you get on social media, instantly you're comparing yourself to everybody else. If you got to sift through 200 or 300 resumes, and let's say it takes you a week or two just to sift through those resumes, meanwhile, you're looking at Facebook and you're looking to see what everybody else, so-and-so got another property under contract. So-and-so is wholesaling. So-and-so is doing this. So-and-so went and raised money. And you're sitting here looking at this list like, shit, dude, am I just sitting here wasting my time? Like, do I need to be doing something else? And then a lot of people, they just can't stay with it. Whereas the people like you who stay the course, they find those A players, they understand the process. In 90 days, given between you and somebody else, your business is going to have a much stronger foundation to 10x from. And you're going to be doing more in 90 days as opposed to this person who starts the process and then thinks, I don't know. I got these other guys out here. They're all getting deals under contract. According to social media, everybody's winning. So I just need to stop what I'm doing and go get my hands in 20 other things so that I can feel like I'm being busy. I love that.
You definitely cannot do it alone. No way. No way, really. Honestly, no way. Hypothetically, you can do, but you can move one step in a year, but you won't move faster. You won't get results. Yet you need to build team. You need to find people. You want to find people who are on the same stage where you are, who has the same goals, who has the same vision, and who has the same level of energy. It's what I've learned from my experience. 1,000,000%. You cannot be a great partner for individual who has low level of energy if you have high level. You cannot be good partner to someone who has W2, but you don't. This is a huge obstacle. It's huge. I don't believe it will work. You really cannot tolerate many stuff. You need to meet someone who really doubles you, who replicates you.
Yes.
Who is like your twin. So this is a perfect business partner. Jesse, we will have podcast. I will host podcast. You will be my guest, and do you remember we will talk about partnership, please, because such a important topic.
Yes. Yeah. I was actually talking with I don't want to say any names because I don't know if they made anything official yet. I was talking with one of our clients yesterday, and they were talking about partnering with some of the other clients. And I said, hey, you know what? Let me come in and facilitate that conversation. So as you guys are talking about, hey, can we all be partners? Would this be a good fit? Let me come in there and facilitate that conversation so everybody understands what the communication needs to look like, what the dynamic needs to look like, what types of things need to be in place for you guys to be successful. I would love that. Yeah, that would be amazing, Elena. I would love to come on and do something to talk about partnerships, because you're so right. One early on, the first couple of years in my investing journey, that was probably one of the, I don't want to use mistakes, because I just probably, like a lot of you guys, I just don't believe in it. Like they're learning opportunities, right? But one of the learning opportunities that I had early on, I went through a couple different partnerships, and in those first couple of years, I realized that I was in a partnership longer than I should have been, because I didn't want to make it awkward. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I wasn't comfortable having an uncomfortable conversation. And then in the back of my mind at the same time, I thought to myself, well, shoot, you know what? Maybe I just like this is just how it's supposed to be, and we're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna figure it out. This is just a phase. We're gonna figure it out. And I wasted a lot of time, but I don't want to say wasted, because that experience had to happen the way that it happened for me to be able to learn the way that I needed to learn, and then be able to pivot in the future and just kind of refine my process. And kind of like we were talking about, when we started today. Going into 2025, I'm literally saying no to everything else. There's maybe like one or two things from last year that I'm bringing into 2025 with me. Like going into 2025, it's literally a day and night difference. It is 80-90% different. And so relationships and everything are going to obviously be a huge part of that as well. But like you said, you have to go through the quantity in order to find the quality. And so if it takes you, just as an example, let's say it takes you 100 hours to be able to find the relationships you need to find, some people will spread that 100 hours over the course of 2 years. Whereas somebody like you, Elena, you'll put 100 hours into one day. You'll fit 100 hours into 24 hours, man, and you'll just knock it out. And I think that's been a huge, I just love the tenacity, the character. There's so many wonderful and beautiful things about you. I wish I had enough time to name them all, but there's so many wonderful things about you that stand out. When I think of you, I look at, like I said, I compare myself. I look at where I was, even the first 2 years of me being in real estate. And I remember those first 2 years, I used to look at people that were ahead of me, and I used to think, man, like, it would just be nice to be in their position. It would be nice to be able to know what they know, or have their connections, or live where they live, or, whatever, yada, 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 yada. And there's this really amazing quote by a gentleman named Kurt Cobain. Elena, do you know who Kurt Cobain is?
Nirvana. Yep.
Nirvana. Yeah.
Yep.
And this was kind of a neat quote. I didn't realize this was one of his. It was really kind of philosophical, but it really impacted me from the first time that I heard it. And he said, "Wanting to be somebody else is a waste of the person you are." And Elena, it has just been the neatest thing in the world to see what you've done in 6 months, from not knowing what it meant to open up escrow to now here you are just leading the charge. And then you're talking about 10xing this thing in 2025. I hope this is a testament to everybody else. I hope you guys look at what Elena is and who she's becoming, and you take that as inspiration, because every single one of us was made in the image of God, and we weren't made to play small. We were meant to move mountains. We were meant to accomplish so many things beyond our understanding, beyond what we think we're capable of. And there are certain skills and abilities that each one of you have. And the cool thing is, the advantage that every single one of you have, the advantage that Elena has over anybody else in the entire world, is that there's only one Elena. And there will ever only be one Elena. And Elena can never be replicated. The way that Elena thinks, the way that she moves, the way that she serves people, the talents that she has, nobody can execute the talents that she has the way that Elena does. And that is the advantage that Elena has over anybody else in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, each one of you have the exact same advantage over anybody else. Stop playing small. Stop selling yourself short. Too many of you guys overestimate where you think you need to be in 60 days from now, or a month from now, or a week from now. You overestimate it. And then you burn out. I can't tell you how many people I talk to that shoot me a random message like, "Hey, Jesse, just getting back into real estate. I had to take 6 months off. I was burning out. I was doing this. I was doing that." It's like, dude, stop it. Give yourself time to grow. Give yourself some grace. We're breaking generational curses here. You have to become the person first. Elena, would you agree with that? You have to become the person first before you can have the results that that person has. Has that been your experience?
Yeah.
There's too many people out there that are trying to chase the deal. I got a call from a wonderful person. He might even be watching this right now. Really love this individual. I'm grateful for him and his friendship. He sent me a text this morning and said, "Jesse, hey, I want you to know, like, I'm plan on joining your program. I'm working on getting a couple. I need to get a couple more deals, but I'm in. I'm all in. I'm joining." And I challenged him. I had to say, "Bro, what are you actually doing that's different than what you have been?" And I don't do it in like an asshole way. A lot of times the advice that I give to people is me talking to the younger version of Jesse. There are so many times, especially those first couple years, when I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'll do this when I get this first deal. I'll do this when I do this. I'll do this when I do that." Meanwhile, nothing's changing. I just keep telling myself, if I just continue putting in hours on something that I don't know whether or not it's going to pay off, that's what I need to be doing. It doesn't start there. If you find yourself in that hamster wheel right now, stop it. It starts right here. You have to change the way that you think. If you don't change the way that you think, then you're not going to change the action that you take. Would you agree with that, Elena?
Yep.
Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think you have to change who you are first as opposed to focusing on the deal and constantly chasing a buck?
Because the thing who you are comes from inside, comes from your mind, comes from your heart. This is the place where you create your reality. If you keep swimming in self-doubts, in self-comparison to other people, if you don't feel yourself like you can, so you will stay in this condition days, hours, maybe months, maybe years. How it will help you? It will not help you. And I know, Jesse, I realize we all are coming from childhood. We were impacted by our parents, by society, by community. But right after you will turn maybe 20, 25, maybe 30 years old, I don't know. Nobody cares who you were raised by. You have your own responsibility in front of this universe, who you are, about your mindset, about how you treat yourself, how you treat people. So you don't have excuses anymore. You need to build your life from here, starting from here. And person who you are affects not only you. It's another thing we should remember. You affect everyone around you. So to start build yourself as a new person, you have to put effort. Every time you catch yourself with some negativity, start praying, whatever. Start changing your minds. See it, get it, catch it, and work with this information. You're not animal. You have brain. You have intellect to be able to work with your brain, with your minds, with your thoughts. And as anything that comes from here, right after you will start changing your thoughts, it will come, because magic of this life and this planet is everything comes from here. And as soon you start thinking about something, if you start to dream about something, you start working with your mindset, your goal, your result, your destination will start coming your way. It doesn't depend on what you want or you don't want. It happens automatically. You think about it, you put this goal, you started working to avoid negativity on your thoughts. It works. Lord works. All universe works. I don't know, it's really magic. We cannot explain it. We can just accept it. Change your mind. Do this job. And in a couple of months, you will notice no more massive negativity in your brain. It will not come. You will not attract it.
I love that.
Another goal for this year.
Yes.
To have Joe Dispenza as my guest on my podcast. Oh, he's crazy busy. He's famous, very famous author. And oh my gosh, I love him. And this is my goal. I will get him. I will get him.
I have no doubt, Elena. Let's go, friend. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You heard it here. It's documented. Everybody heard it. Okay. Now we're going to go make it happen.
Yeah, I
Proud
will.
of you, Elena.
Million% will.
Let's talk one thing real quick before we hop off. We got a few minutes left. One of the things that, again, kind of like we were talking about in the beginning, one of the things that there's this big misconception is that you need to start out wholesaling. That's where you got to start out, and then you can jump into buying properties. Here you are, Elena. To my knowledge, you've never wholesaled, but yet you own property.
I've tried to do looking for foreclosure for months or so, but I just was in the beginning of wholesaling process. So technically, I never done wholesaling.
Okay.
Because I never closed any deals. I never came from A to Z. Yeah. I realized very quickly I didn't want to do it.
So you've never done a wholesaling deal before, but here you are over here buying property. That's interesting. So what would you say to anybody else who's in the same thought process? If they're like, well, this sounds interesting. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm capable of doing it. What would you say to those individuals? Because you've done it. What would you say if they're like, oh yeah, but that's just Jesse or that's just Elena. Like those guys could do it. Like I can't do it. I need to wholesale. Everybody else out here is wholesaling. Like that's what I'm seeing. Like I need to do that. Even though the result I want is to go buy property. What would you say to those individuals? What advice would you?
So if someone tells you you have to start doing wholesaling, think about those who tells you this stuff. Maybe they want to make advantage with you because maybe they want you bring them your deals. You never know. So just think about it. Think about what you want, not what they tells you what you have to do. What do you want? It's just kind of business. It's what do you want really to do? It's nothing what people say you to do. Just try to sit, to calm down, to write down your strategy, to understand what you need. If you know nothing, find community, find people, Google, prepare yourself. Just really first understand what do you want. If you don't want to do wholesaling, okay, put it aside and think what do you really want. And if you will start thinking, you will find a way to implement it. You will find help, you will find information, you will find people. As I told previously, so everything like a magnet, it will come to you. Will come. It will not happen today, tomorrow. It will take time. But the beauty of this life, it will happen sooner than you think. Everything in this life, if you have clear vision of what do you want, it started coming your way immediately. It will not take centuries. It will take some time, but not centuries.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. Thank you, Elena.
Thank you, Jesse.
Would you be right? Would you be where you are right now? Would you be on this trajectory if you weren't in the Growth Co?
I don't think so. I would be here, but oh my gosh, I'm still newbie. I'm still learning. I still know nothing. But even what I know now, I would know it, but maybe a little later, not now.
So it's accelerated the results that you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your relationships.
Absolutely.
Elena, you're awesome. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for our friendship. I'm grateful to jump on a one-on-one with you. I'm grateful to share some of the things that I have going on, some of the and learn more about some of the things that you're wanting to do, and see where I can pull my clients up with me as we're climbing this year. This is going to be a really, really big year. So I am going to hold you guys accountable, and I expect you guys to do the same. Appreciate
Thank you, Jesse, for everything, for your mentorship. I love you too. Thank you for all your suggestions, and not only suggestions, but all inspiration, all how to say. It's obviously you've done a lot to learn what you share with us all the time. So it's very valuable. You take this mentorship, but you don't keep information for yourself. You share it with people. It's so cool. And the beauty of mentorship is not especially not only information you receive, but the structure, how good mentor delivers information to students. And this is what I got from you, from your mentorship, the structure, and most important, this wide vision. Not only, guys, go and study how to underwrite, go and study how to speak with wholesalers, not just like this, much wider. If you have much wider vision, everything inside of this vision, it will come automatically. So I'm really appreciate, Jesse. Appreciate everything you do for me, everything you do for all our guys, for all our cohort, for next cohort. I see wonderful people in next cohort, in 6-1. My gosh, awesome people. What they're doing right now. So cool.
Thank you. Give me goosebumps. I appreciate that. Thank you. I received that. Where can people reach out to you to work with you? They want to shortcut the process, get to learn more about you and work with you a little bit more. Where should everybody reach out to you at?
You guys can please reach out to me on my Facebook, Elena Bartosz. My website, elenabartosz.com.
Okay. They can connect with you on your website, elenabartosz.com, and then on Facebook. Shoot you a message on Facebook.
Yep. Please.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being active in the comments. I hope you guys took some good notes. Anytime that I ever get the opportunity to have Elena on and hear what she's been up to, I feel like I am a student as well. Like I always get the opportunity to learn and to grow, and I really admire you, and I look up to you, and I hold you on a really high pedestal. I think you're such an amazing and a wonderful individual. I'm so grateful that God crossed our paths. Thank you, Elena. I appreciate you.
Jesse. I'm really grateful to him. He put me away, and you accepted my silly, stubborn wish to join your mentorship, even if you believe it will be not beneficial for me. No, I don't care. I need it, I want it, and I trust you. I'm grateful to you and to him.
Thank you so much. Well, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, Elena. Hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful rest of your day as well. Happy New Year, folks. See you guys later.